Mountain biking has taken off in popularity in the past couple years, especially since COVID, and it's become increasingly more expensive. But it doesn't only have to be for the rich. Today we put together a list of mountain bikes and mountain biking gear in various different price ranges to get you started on a budget. First, of course, you're going to need a bike and some gear, so let's start with the bike. Now, our first price range is $5,000. You got a lot of money to spend and work with here. For an entry-level bike, you have lots of options. You can get a carbon frame with some good components at new or used price and value. If you're looking for a new bike, Jensen and Backcountry will be your friends. They always are running sales and are always closing out different bikes. But if you're looking for a higher value bike for a lower price point, go to Facebook Marketplace. You can definitely find some good value bikes there. They might be in little worse condition, but if you just scroll for a couple days, you can definitely find a good bike. Now that you've picked out a bike, you're gonna need gear, like a helmet and pads. A helmet is definitely something you don't want to cheap out on. And they're not super cheap, but they're also not too expensive. A helmet will probably run you about $100, and if you want to look at good safe ones, Virginia Tech has a good website where they have lots of ratings and price ranges for different kinds of helmets. Now moving on to other types of protection, we have pads where you can protect your knees, your elbows, and your hands. We have knee pads that won't be too expensive. Those will probably also be around the $100 range. Elbow pads, those will probably be like 50-ish, 50 to 100. And then gloves, definitely one of the most underrated things that people cheap out on. Gloves are $20. Go get yourself a good pair of gloves and your hands will thank you later. Now you're gonna need some pedals because a new bike almost never will come with pedals. But if you're looking at a used bike, make sure to check that it comes with pedals because you can save yourself some money. So if you're looking at pedals, those will probably be about $50. You have two options, clipless and flats. You can get like some plastic race face chesters for about $20, or if you wanted to splurge, you could get like some Crank Brothers stamps for about $50 to $70. Shoes are about the same way. They will probably be about $100 depending on which type and which style you're going for. If you're going clipless, buying shoes is obvious. You need somewhere to clip into the pedal. But if you're looking at flats, some people think that they don't need shoes. They already have shoes on their feet. But flat shoes have a pattern that is specific to fit into the pins on those pedals, and it'll give you a lot more grip and a lot more control of the rear of the bike. Now, you spend a lot of money on your bike, but you still have a lot of budget left. And you're gonna wanna get some accessories like a multi-tool. These, you can get a really high quality one for about $50. A good recommendation is just look at any Crank Brothers ones. They're decently cheap and really good value. Next is a water bottle. You're definitely gonna want water out on the trail. Those will be about $20, easy one to pick up. Also a good gift if you're looking into gifting someone something. Next is a bike pump. You're gonna want something to air up your tires. It's a very basic tool you're gonna need. That'll be about $75 if you're looking to splurge on a good one like a Toe Peak pump.
Okay, and now that we've got the rich kids out of the way, let's start lowering the price range a bit. Good. For this price range, which is $2,500, you're probably gonna want either a used carbon full suspension or a new aluminum full suspension. And the reason that is because carbon is obviously cheaper than aluminum, and used is also, wait.
You're joking or not, so I'm gonna stop you.
And like $5,000, this one also comes down to circumstance and timing. You can definitely find some good deals on places like Backcountry and Jensen and things. So keep an eye out for those. Me personally, and objectively, I'd rather get a used carbon bike than like a new aluminum, because aluminum sucks, you know? But anyway, that bike is gonna run you around like $1,700 to $2,000. And if you spend $2,000 on a bike, then you still have $500 left in the budget for gear and accessories. So we're gonna stick with the ones from before. And all of those combined are gonna run you about $2,200 to $2,500 onto the $1,000 price range.
Now moving on to the $1,000 budget, where you start to have to cut corners, like going for an aluminum hardtail versus a carbon full suspension. If you're looking for a good bike, you can definitely find some good Facebook Marketplace bikes that might have like a decent air fork and an aluminum frame with a decent drivetrain. A good bike to look out for is an Ozark Trail. Now, maybe some of you know that that is a Walmart bike, but it can be a really good one and it's good for upgrading. Those on Marketplace will probably run you from like $400 to $600-ish. You can get a pretty decent one if you just look hard enough. And then moving on to gear, a helmet, you really don't want to cut corners there. That'll be about $110, just like the past two. Gloves, also about $20. Definitely don't want to sleep on gloves. And then pedals, I mean, flats are probably the way to go. Some used bikes will probably come with flats, so you can just knock that right off the list. The accessories are going to be the same, a multi-tool, water bottle, and a pump. And if you go with the recommended budget for the bike and gear, you can buy the same stuff as the $5,000 budget, going for a $20 to $50 multi-tool, $20 water bottle, and $75 pump, which will all be pretty good tools to have in your repertoire. All the accessories and gear total to $230, adding on about $600 for a bike. That's going to be about $825 to $850.
And on to $500, this is where it starts to get kind of spicy. You're kind of in broke territory now. Starting with the bike, it's also an Ozark Trail, but this one does not have an air fork or hydraulic brakes. Unfortunately, you're gonna have mechanical brakes and a spring fork. The reason the coil fork isn't that good is because it's not like adjustable at all. You're kind of stuck with the spring you've got. And these SR Suntour forks are reliable, but they're not like high performance by any means. An air fork is gonna be much better if you have the money. And the last Ozark Trail also had a dropper. This one does not. It's kind of just bare bones, like what you'd find in your grandma's garage or something like that. That bike is gonna run you around $300. Onto the gear, this is where you really have to cut corners because you only have $200 remaining. So you're gonna get a $60 helmet, which is still pretty decent. You're not gonna die if you hit your head. And $20 gloves. That's it. No pads, no shoes, no pedals, because a Walmart bike from Marketplace is definitely gonna have pedals. And then onto accessories. You're gonna try to pick up a multi-tool that's around $20. We actually did a review on one that was like $750. So they are out there, they do exist. You don't need to spend like $50 on those. And then a water bottle, kind of a necessity to like drink water. And $20 isn't that much, so you can just pick up the same Camelbacks we've been talking about. And for the bike pump, you're gonna have to cheap out there as well. You can probably find an okay one for around $30. It's not gonna be as high volume or as high quality as the $75 one, but it should get the job done. And then all around, that brings your total to $450.
Well, that's gonna do it for today. If you guys made it this far, you guys are real ones, and because you guys are the real ones, I just wanna let you know, if you have been paying attention, we've missed like a lot of uploads in the past month, like 4. And that was right after we got monetized and said that we were only gonna miss 7 uploads this month, or this year. So just throw all that out, pretend that that video didn't exist. But I think we're back on track now. We were just taking a little break. We were a bit burned out, but we're gonna try to get the channel back alive and go back to posting regularly. Well, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.